Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ask the Coach Show, episode 117, where PingSkills answers your table tennis questions. It's a special show today because of the World Championships and because I've missed a few days since I was sick, but we're back. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, with me is Super Coach Alois Rosario. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeff. And yes, this show has been a few days in the making, hasn't it? Episode 117, but we're here, and yeah, lots of exciting news with the World Championships, Jeff.
Yeah, indeed. I think we should get straight into the World Championships, Alois. We've just been watching the men's semi-final, second semi-final. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? Zhang Jike and Fang Bo. And Fang Bo getting up, taking Zhang Jike out. No three-peat for Zhang Jike. A 4-1 result. Like Zhang Jike always just looked like he was on the verge, didn't he? Looked like, I mean, he just needed to get a little bit more into the match. And but gee, Fang Bo played beautiful with table tennis. In those forehand to forehand rallies, he was just all over Zhang Jike. What was going on?
I don't know. So surprising. We always think Zhang Jike has got the most powerful forehand, but yeah, Fang Bo, amazing. Just kept on winning those rallies. Zhang Jike seemed to be struggling with his shoulder. I don't know if that was affecting him or not, but it got close at the end. I thought Fang Bo might get nervous, and we all know about Zhang Jike's mental toughness in these big matches, but this time it was Fang Bo's turn.
Yeah, Fang Bo was really strong, wasn't he? Like it's so hard to play against someone, and there was definitely something going on with Zhang Jike's shoulder. So in the previous matches, we've seen that he's had to have some medical attention for his shoulder, and you could see when he was going forehand to forehand rallies, he'd pull up. He was trying not to let Fang Bo see too much, but you could see that he was just moving his shoulder around. There was definitely something going on, the point of the shoulder, at the back of the shoulder, and I think even in the lat down here as well. So I think that whole shoulder region is in a bit of trouble for Zhang Jike. It'll be just one of those things where you're playing a lot over a period of time. He's had a few tough matches to get through, and I think it's just taken its toll. But let's not take anything away from Fang Bo. Wow, what a strong performance to beat Zhang Jike. I mean, I don't care if Zhang Jike's got one leg, he would still be a tough opponent.
Indeed. So I believe he's now taking down Zhu Xin. Zhang Jike, can he get through Ma Long? That's the question now, Alois.
Yeah, so Ma Long, I mean, again, such a competitor. Like on his way, he's just had really decisive victories. He beat Panagiotis, the Greek chopper, 4-0. He beat Ju Se-hyuk 4-1. So he had 2 choppers in a row, and then beat Tang Peng 4-0, and really made Tang look ordinary. We saw Tang Peng here in Australia last year. He only played in the doubles, but he looked pretty strong. He's such a solid performer. But Ma Long made him look ordinary. And then the big semi-final against Fan Zhendong, the young guy who we thought is the next big thing from China, he took him out 4-1 in that as well, and lost the 4th game, 11-7. So took the first game 11-1 or something like that, Ma Long is looking like he's in really good form, and I think Fang Bo's got another tall task on his hands to get through there.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to go with Ma Long. I think I picked him at the start of the tournament, Alois, and so I'm going to go with him.
You did. Yeah, you did. I picked Zhang Jike. He's gone.
Yes. And then in the women's, Alois, I picked Ding Ning. How did I go there?
Oh, mate, you're on a roll.
Yeah.
Ding Ning took the title. So beat Liu Shiwen 4-3. Just before we get to the final, so Ding Ning in the quarterfinal beat Wu Yang, a chopper from China, beautiful chopper, beat her 4-3 in the quarterfinal. So that's tough, you know, playing against a chopper and coming through. Then in the semi-final, beat the qualifier, another Chinese girl, Mu Zi. She beat her 4-3 and 11-6 in the deciding set. So Mu Zi, another interesting story, you know, came through the qualification tournament and beat Feng Tian Wei 4-0. You know, one of the last of the real non-Chinese challengers. And then in the final against Liu Shiwen, again, a 4-3 result. And a little bit of controversy in my books. I haven't seen all of the match, but a little bit of controversy. In the 7th game, very early, Ding Ning went down at 2-0, turned her ankle and stayed down and had 10-minute medical timeout. And I think really threw the rhythm of Liu Shiwen.
Controversial, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at that stage, I would have picked Liu Shiwen to take the match. You know, she was in some really good form, really on a roll, and yeah, I think that injury actually turned things around.
Wow, there you go. I can still hear you've got some of the ITTV in the background there, Alois.
I better turn that off. I'm still too excited about it. Sorry. Yes, I had the women's doubles going on in the background. So yeah, so really interesting world so far. You know, one of the other really great things I reckon from this World Championships is the ITTF have really gone out and promoted the players. You know, we've been banging on about this for a long time, about getting the players' profiles out there and letting us start to learn a bit more about the players. And the ITTF have done a great job at this Worlds and in the lead up to the Worlds in starting to let us relate to the players. You know, I wanted Ding Ning to win because I've seen a bit of her profile. I've seen a bit of her background. I want her to win. You know, we've seen with those Driving with the Stars, I think they've
been great.
Yeah. So what they do is on the way to the venue, they've got a little camera set up in the car, and they do a mini interview with some of the top players, and they just have the questions up on a little screen in the back seat, and the players are going through and answering questions. It just lets us into a little bit more about the players. And, you know, we always talk about these Chinese players. We don't know anything about them. Finally, we've got to learn a little bit about the Chinese players. And now at the World Championships, in the semis and the finals, usually if there's Chinese players playing against each other, you think, oh, yeah, well, you know, one of them's going to win. Now, I'm actually backing or barracking for one or other of the Chinese players. Good job, ITTF. I love it.
Yeah, brilliant. It's been great, hasn't it? And yeah, they've done a fantastic job all around, promoting the players, streaming all the matches on the ITTV. I've been really impressed.
Yeah, no, like it. Keep going, ITTF. It's exactly what we're looking for.
Yep. And so I noticed Mima Ito seemed to do okay, Alois. Have you seen any results for her?
Yeah, she did well. I'm just trying to look. I think what was it, quarterfinals for Mima Ito.
Yeah. And I think it did pretty well against was it Li Shiwen?
Yeah. No, against Li Xiaoxia. She was up 2-0 against Li Xiaoxia. Won the first two 11-9 and 16-14, but then Li Xiaoxia was just a bit too strong. Winning that match 4-2. But let's not forget Mima Ito, 14 years old. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, brilliant. There we go. And so we've only got a few events left. I think the men's doubles is done. Just the women's doubles to go, is it?
That's right. Yeah, so women's doubles and the men's singles final. So the women's doubles coming up, the final tonight, but men's doubles, Zhang Jike and Zhu Xin ended up taking the title, even though along the way they were in big trouble. So in the quarterfinal against the Japanese pair, they were down match points against Morizono and Oshima. So they were down, I think, 10-7 in the 7th game and got up to win. So, yeah, again, you know, the experience of tough players like Zhang Jike and Zhu Xin, in the end, it just, you know, really takes its toll. Then in the semis, they beat the Korean pair of Lee Sang-soo and Seo Hyun-duk 4-2. And then the final again was 4-2 against the other Chinese pair of Fan Zhendong and Zhao Yu. So, yeah, so good win there for Zhu Xin and Zhang Jike. And it sort of belies, you know, the seedings, doesn't it? You know, we talked a bit about the seedings before the World Championship started for the doubles. When you've got two great players like Zhu Xin and Zhang Jike, I mean, they are definitely one of the favourites to win. You know, I don't care if they haven't played doubles on the World Tour before. I don't care if they don't play much doubles at all. Like, put those two together on a table tennis table, and you're going to have some trouble.
That's for sure. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, maybe that's something they can look at. But, yeah, it's always hard, Alois, with the seedings because, you know, the players that play all the time will say, well, you can't seed them, you know. But, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty clear, isn't it? They're always going to be dangerous.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, it's almost – you almost have to add up the players' world singles rankings and take that into account somewhere when you're doing the double seedings, because I mean, table tennis doubles isn't as specialised as something like badminton, where you have to have much more teamwork because it's not taking it in turns, or even tennis. You know, table tennis doubles, you take it in turns, so there just isn't as much happening in the doubles as there is in badminton or tennis or something like that. So yeah, I think you've just got to add up. I mean, add up those two guys' men's singles rankings, and you soon work out that you're going to have a reasonable sort of pair.
Yeah, indeed. Very good. All right. Well, yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Oh, yep. Go.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't talked about the mixed doubles yet either. So Zhu Xin took that mixed doubles as well. So he's taken both the men's doubles and the mixed doubles. But interestingly, in the mixed doubles, playing with a Korean girl, so Yang Hae-eun, and they won that final, I think 4-1. So, or maybe no, I can't remember the final result. But yeah, they won the final reasonably comfortably. I think it might have even been 4-0 or 4-1.
So there you go. She must be the only non-Chinese to win a gold medal.
Yes, and will be, because both the women's doubles and the men's singles, all Chinese affairs. So, yes, so she will be the only non-Chinese player to take home a gold medal. So well done to Yang Hae-eun. And she played well in the mixed doubles too. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, Zhu Xin was the only player out there. So, yeah, great effort.
Indeed. Very good. So, yeah, we'd love to know your thoughts on the World Championships. Leave a comment to let us know what you've thought about the whole World Championships, how the ITTF's done it, you know, your favourite moments. We just like to hear your thoughts. All righty, Al. Well, we've got a whole heap to discuss here besides the World Championships as well in this episode. It's been a few days coming, so there's lots to discuss. The last PingSkills question of the day was actually, what is your favourite drill? Now, what is your favourite drill, Alois?
For me, it's got to be the PingSkills drill. So where you're playing backhand from the backhand corner, forehand from the middle, backhand from the backhand corner, and then forehand from out wide on your forehand. So we talked a little bit about this. You know, it gives you good switching between your backhand and forehand. It also changes up. So you're playing the forehand from two different positions, get you settled, get you into a good basic position. So yeah, for me, PingSkills drill is number one. What about you, Jeff? What did you like?
Yeah, PingSkills drill, absolutely. That's why we called it the PingSkills drill, because we both like it. Yeah, and we'll put a link to our drills sheet in the show notes so you can check out all the drills, and one of them will be the PingSkills drill. Now, the PingSkills question for today is, what have you learned from the World Championship so far? So leave a comment and let us know. Love to hear your thoughts. All right.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully the PingSkillers have been getting onto ITTV and watching plenty of the World Championships. We sort of talked about it's really good for getting good images in your head of the best players playing. There's no substitute for that. So, yeah, so if you haven't watched a lot, get onto ITTV. Watch tonight, the men's finals are on, or, in another 3 or 4 hours, the men's finals on. But also you can go back and just look through all the matches that have happened as well. So, yeah, get on it.
Yeah,
see what you can learn.
Isn't it? I mean, watching those top players, to see their balance, their composure, their touch. I mean, you see some of the serves, they can just push it back short and low, stop the opponent from attacking, or they can flick it deep and then get into an attacking rally. But they're always so balanced. And especially the Chinese, Zhang Jike, Ma Long, Zhu Xin, even Fang Bo, they're just so composed, so balanced. Their footwork's incredible. They can play a forehand out wide and then a forehand from their backhand side. And you're like, how did they possibly move that distance? It's amazing to watch. So make sure you check it out, ITTV. All right. Well, that's enough of me getting excited, Alois. Let's get on to the questions. First one is from Ilya. And Ilya wants to know how to adjust start, finish positions and racket speed to make a slow spinny backhand topspin against backspin and not an aggressive one. And which version should you learn first, the slow one or the fast one?
Yeah, so Ilya, I think to start with just the slower topspin. To do that, you need more of a vertical stroke. So if I'm hitting at the ball this way, so I need to start lower and finish higher. So the stroke will actually look something like that. So in starting quite low, down about your knee level and finishing up above your eye level there. That more vertical stroke will give the ball more lift rather than more forward momentum. If you want to get more speed, then you start a little bit more back and come forward. So yeah, to start off with, I think just that slower ball is actually quite good because you're learning to lift and to feel the ball. So the ball's gripping into your rubber and lifting that way. So it's gripping and lifting out of your rubber that way. So that's the feel that you really want to get. Once you've got that feel, then you can understand that you can rip the ball as much as you want and spin the ball heavily, and you're going to be able to lift that backspin up and over the net.
Yeah, so it's called the slow spinny topspin, but does your contact need to be slow or need to be fast?
Yeah, good point. So the contact needs to be quite fast. So your racket head speed is quite fast to be able to lift the backspin on the ball. If you come through slowly like that, you're not going to get the friction of the bat on the ball, and the ball's not going to lift. It's just going to drop down. So you want plenty of speed and friction on the ball when you actually contact it.
Okay, good. All right. So yeah, so Ilya, the slow spinny one, start low, vertical stroke, quite a fast racket speed and a nice brushing contact. Yeah, and then, yeah, Alois says, learn that one first, and then you can start to go more forward and start to play faster shots against that backspin ball. So try those things out and let us know if it helps out. All right. Brock has got an update for us. He says, I played with the tall guy one final time and I owned him with a 21-14, 21-12 victory. I feel unstoppable now. Good to hear, Brock. Oh. All right.
And,
yep.
And he's also given another update, Jeff.
Yes. He says, hey, PingSkills, I beat my new rival. He goes, I am wondering, is the start and finish position important when doing strokes?
Yeah. So firstly, Brocky, good work. You got over the tall guy. Now you're getting over this new rival as well. Zhang Zique, bring him on. Bring him on. That's really good to see the improvement, Brock. So with your strokes, we really stress the start and finish position. The reason is that if you get those two things right, then the stroke will basically start to form in the correct way. If you don't get the start and finish positions right, then it's going to be difficult to get your stroke right. So we emphasize that all the time with all your strokes. Look at your start and finish position. We emphasize that in all of our lessons, in our strokes and techniques section. Get on there, try to copy those start and finish positions. Definitely important.
Indeed. All right. Now, Aliman has got a question, Alois. He says, how do you guys feel about Zhu Xin losing to Fang Bo? Zhu Xin was keeping up until the edge ball at the end.
Yeah, so watch a bit of it, and I mean, Fang Bo looked good. I mean, and I think he sort of backed that up now with his win against Zhang Zique as well. So Zhu Xin, again, there was something a little bit wrong physically. I'm not sure. He's had problems with his shoulder. Had a lot of matches because he played singles, doubles, mixed doubles, and winning both the men's doubles and mixed doubles that means a lot of match time. It's not only the match time at these big tournaments, but it's also the preparation time. So for every match, you go out there for half an hour or an hour before, you're warming up, you're hitting, you're getting prepared. So every match you play, it doesn't only add that match time to your tournament, but it also adds the on-court time. And then there's the other things the things that we don't get to see much, but at these big tournaments, there's also the transportation from the hotel to the venue. So there's that time, there's the preparation time, there's the mental tiredness time as well. You know, just getting up for each of these matches, and each match isn't easy. So we saw that in Zhu Xin's men's doubles, you know, in the quarterfinals they would match points down. So it's a big match. He's got to recover from that, recover from the mixed doubles, you know, the highs of winning 2 gold medals. So overall, I think it just takes its toll on a player like Zhu Xin. And Fang Bo played brilliantly, brilliantly. That edge ball at the end, you know what? Zhu Xin was back from the table. He was defending. I think 2 or 3 balls before that, he just was able to get the ball back and stay in the rally. Yeah, Zhu Xin was really out of that rally anyway. And Fang Bo getting the edge at the end, I mean, yeah, it was going into Zhu Xin's backhand. It was going to be a difficult ball for him anyway. So yeah, or it might have been going to his forehand, but it was a difficult ball for him anyway. So yeah, I don't really put it down to that edge ball, but yeah, great play from Fang Bo and a big ask for Zhu Xin in the big tournament.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I've been really impressed with Fang Bo. Obviously, I mean, if you beat Zhu Xin and Zhang Zique, you're obviously playing really, really well. It's interesting because I think he's only ranked 14, well, he's ranked 14 in the world, so it is a bit of a surprise. And I'm just having a look at his Pro Tour record, Alois, and he won the 2013 Austrian Open, runner-up at the Swedish Open in 2014 and the Korean Open in 2014. But that's kind of his best in, in the Pro Tour events. And he's like 37 wins and 9 losses overall in his career in the Pro Tour and World Championships to date. So this is really a breakout performance for him.
Yeah, it is. He has had some injuries. I'm not sure what his injuries have been, but I know that he has had injuries, and he's been under a big injury cloud for a little while. And I think that's why they weren't really, we weren't expecting that much from him at the World Championships. You know, a couple of years ago, he was the next big thing, like Fan Zhendong is now, but hasn't been able to really produce in the last year and a bit. So his body is feeling good. He's in good physical health, and this is probably his potential. And you know, I mean, and to beat, as you said, Zhu Xin and Zhang Zique at a World Championships back to back is huge. Huge.
Yes, and one more challenge remaining. Let's see what happens when the final comes along.
That's
All
right.
right. Now,
So the final is on in about 3 hours from now. So yeah, set your clocks, guys.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, before we get on to some more questions, Alois, we've got a few discussion items. So, first up, table tennis has now become the sport played in most countries. 222 is the number that the ITTF's quoted. Do you want to tell us a bit about this?
Yeah. So ITTF, they've had a huge development program going over the last 10 years or more, and one of their big drives has been to try to get as many National Olympic Committee representatives now actually affiliated with the International Table Tennis Federation, with the ITTF. So they have just secured another 4 countries, and that has put them up to 222, which makes them the biggest, and they've just overtaken volleyball. So volleyball was the biggest. Table tennis is now the biggest sport in the world, based on the number of countries affiliated with the international body. So it's a huge effort by table tennis, and it just shows what a great, huge sport this is. And it's a sport that doesn't matter where you go in the world, you'll find a table tennis table. And now we know in 222 countries, they've actually got a national association that's affiliated with the ITTF. That's massive. 222 is such a great number.
Brilliant. All right. Another big thumbs up to the ITTF. Well done.
This is a bit of an ITTF pat on the back show, this one, Jeff.
Indeed. Well, here's one which you might have a different opinion on. This discussion is on the rule change regarding coaching during a game. Now, you saw this one recently.
Yeah, so the ITTF, okay, maybe we won't give them too many pats on the back. So the ITTF have just changed the rule, and this rule will come in after the Olympics, the 2016 Olympics and Paralympics. So after that, coaches are going to be allowed to coach their players during the game. So I'm not exactly sure of the logistics of how it's going to work. Apparently they've trialed it in the German league, and it's worked really well. And now they've just gone and changed the rule so that you are going to be allowed to get advice from your coach during the match. Don't like it, ITTF.
So, yeah, I'm a bit confused about how that works. Is that just the umpire just shouting stuff out like in between points, or is it actually like taking more timeouts, or when they towel down you can go talk to them? Do you know much about it at this stage?
No, I don't know much about it, but I'm envisaging that the coaches are basically allowed to yell out instructions to their players during the match. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because then you think other players might hear it, and the opposition might hear it, and so I don't quite see how it works. But obviously, they said they've trialed it well, so I'd be keen to find out some more information about exactly what that rule entails. But it does sound a bit strange.
Yeah, I might just try to search up on the German league and just see what that looks like, because I'm sure there'll be some footage on there. Yeah, we won't bag it completely, but yeah, I don't like the reason I don't like it is because, again, it's taking a little bit away from the contest between the two players. So, it's you and me, Jeff, playing each other, and now we're getting more interruption, so someone's yelling out instructions to me to help me, and someone's yelling out some instructions to help you. Just leave it. It's a battle between Jeff and I. We're out there playing our game. Just leave it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's interesting because, if you take a sport like tennis, the coach is not allowed to coach them at all, not even in between sets.
Yeah, that's right. And I'd rather see it go that way than the other way, than the coach being more involved. I'd rather see that the coaches just not even on the bench, just go and sit in the stands and let the players play. I reckon that'd be much better.
And that's what does happen in tennis, in the Grand Slams. Not in the Davis Cup. Davis Cup, the coaches are more involved, but yeah.
And I think on the women's circuit too, I think the coaches are allowed one timeout type of situation where they're allowed to come down. I don't think it hasn't come in Grand Slams, but on the WTC, can't remember exactly, on the women's circuit, I think the women are allowed one time where the coach can come down to the court and advise them. So, you know, they're changing a little bit too. Yeah, not sure. Don't think I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, if you know anything about the rule change, leave a comment in the show. On the show, go to PingSkills.com, click on the blog link. You'll find all the shows. Leave a comment and let us know. And while I'm talking about that, make sure you visit PingSkills.com and sign up for our free newsletter if you haven't. And also consider a premium membership. We've got lots of great videos for you to help you improve your game. There's a whole series on serving, a whole series on receiving. We give you a 52-week training plan, a new training session each week, and an associated masterclass. And a lot of our premium members really love that structure that we provide there and really enjoy doing that every week. So try us out. Go to pingskills.com and check out the premium membership. All right, on to the next question, Alois. Next one is from Daniel. He says, first, oh my God, Zhang Zhike Zhu Xin versus Long and Timo Boll had my heart pumping. He said, I noticed that my back is more sore after playing, but not injured in a way. He goes, but still, watching the Chinese, they seem to keep their feet relatively square 9 times out of 10 and use more legs and back. Is this true?
Yeah, so you notice the best players do stay fairly square to the table in the rally because they have to use both their backhand and forehand equally. So even if you're punching or blocking on the backhand and then changing to your forehand, you need to be quite square on to the table. And so there is a lot of rotation. So there's a lot of rotation from here and here to make those balls while they're close to the table. So getting back to the doubles, you know, Zhu Xin, Zhang Zhike, Timo Boll, Ma Long, it was a good match, wasn't it? You know, that was the one we were hoping that Boll could get through and maybe, you know, get his world championship gold medal with. And obviously, I mean, losing to the eventual winners, it was a tough draw. They came up against each other in the second round, again because of the seedings and all that sort of thing. But it was a good match. Boll and Ma Long were actually up 2-0 in that, so up 2 games to 0. But then I think Zhang Zhike and Zhu Xin just started to win the bigger rallies, or the more open rallies as well. I think they really asserted themselves there in the open rally. So yeah, it was a good match. You know, Zhang Zhike, Zhu Xin deserved to win. But yeah, we were hoping, weren't we, that Boll could just sneak through and get a gold medal there somewhere.
Yes, we were indeed. And so thanks for the question, Daniel, and good to see you paying attention and watching these matches and noticing things like that about how the Chinese are so balanced and, fairly square on. It's good to pick up these things and try and emulate them in your own game. So keep on doing that.
Yeah, and good to see that your back's starting to get a little bit better too, Daniel. I know you had some back issues, so yeah, excellent.
Indeed. Okay, we have a question now from Kaushik, who says, I have a problem with side spin service. Sometimes an opponent gives the ball both side spin and top spin, and sometimes backspin and side spin, and they also vary the length of the ball, making it very difficult to return the service. How do I return it?
Yeah, well, that's part of the intrigue or the difficulty of serving and returning, isn't it? So say for the tomahawk serve, you can come over the top a little bit with some top spin, or you can come down this way and get some back spin. So they've all got side spin on it, but whether they've got a little bit of top or a little bit of back makes a difference to your return. Experience is the best way. Just being able to see these balls come at you repetitively over and over, you'll start to recognize things. Being able to watch the contact as well is important. Sometimes it's hard to see, and it's hard to recognize when you haven't seen it a lot. You know, to be able to see the difference between that and that, or you know, kicking for the topspin, kicking up on the ball that way or down this way on the serve. It's a lot of experience. We've got some really good lessons on returning secrets that will help you just to understand the basic principles of what's happening with the serve, so you can recognize and see the different spin that's happening on the ball as well. So yeah, that's probably a good next step for you.
Indeed. So thanks for the question, Kaushik. And yeah, anyone that's interested, as I said before, our premium membership is a great way to improve your table tennis. And as Alois just said, we've got a whole series of videos on returning serve. It'll teach you the basics and really help you out. So check out the premium membership at pingskills.com. Next up is a question from Ubaid. And Ubaid says, how far from the table should I stand while backhand smashing? When I stand far back from the table, I make a fast smash, but mostly I fail because I can't hit the ball accurately. When standing closer, I make a fine shot, but slow. What should I do?
All right. So if you go and look at our lesson on the backhand smash, the first thing that we tell you is that if the ball's up high on your backhand side, you've probably got enough time to spin around and play a forehand smash. The forehand smash is a lot more accurate because you've got much more maneuverability with your arm on the forehand than with the backhand. So that's the first tip. Secondly, if you are forced to play a backhand smash, try to get the ball at a comfortable height to you. So try to get the ball when it's up around shoulder height or head height. If you let the ball go up too high or from up here, it's really difficult to control, and definitely if it drops down too low, it's too difficult. If the ball goes way back, so they've kicked it with a lot of height and a lot of topspin, it really kicks you back away from the table, then don't try to play the ball too hard. So you're saying that it's more difficult when you're back further from the table. Just play almost a counter topspin from back there, or get around and use your forehand. If you're closer to the table, it is more accurate, but the key there is to be able to turn yourself side on. So if you turn side on, you'll get a better smash at the ball. If you're standing close to the table and square on, it's hard to generate enough power for the smash. So use that time that the ball's up in the air. If you're not going to turn around and use a forehand, make sure you turn side on so that you can smash through with the backhand as well. So yeah, there's a few different thoughts for you about the backhand smash.
Great. Excellent. All right. Hopefully that's helped you out, Ubaid. And thanks for the question. All right. Next up is James. And James says, if the bat hits the ball over the net while at the same time the bat is dropped during the swing, is the ball still in play? Secondly, the player can't reach, so he intentionally swings and let the bat leave his hand. Are these illegal?
Okay. So it all depends on whether the bat is in your hand when the ball contacts the bat. That's the key. So the ball has to be in contact with your hand when you make the shot. So if the ball's up there and you just throw the bat at it, and the bat hits the ball when it's in midair and not in your playing hand, then it's illegal. So it's the other person's point. So the bat has to be in your hand when you make contact.
There you go. That's the key point. Hopefully that clears up both of those for you, James. It's an interesting one. And I guess a lot of people don't realize that, Alois, because I still see a lot of people throwing the bat if they can't quite reach it and thinking that that will be okay.
Yeah, not okay. It's got to be in your hand.
Okay, there you go. So spread the news, everybody. Make sure everybody's aware of that rule, because I don't think it's a common one that a lot of people know about. All right, let's move on to a question from Mark. Mark says, I have a sheet of long pips. My index finger keeps brushing against the pips, and eventually I started to peel the sheet off. I took some scissors and cut the pips as close to the rubber as possible. Is this legal, or should I cut off the whole rubber?
Okay, so what Mark's talking about, so he's got some long pimples there, and what he's doing is he's got his finger up on the pimples there like that, and so what he's done is he has cut these pips down. So he's cut them off here. All right. Now that's I don't think that's legal, because then the surface of the pips isn't uniform. So you have to have the same type of pips all over. So, for example, you certainly can't cut a piece out of your rubber there and cut all the pips out there. So I'm thinking that the same will apply even if the pimples are down here. So the better thing to do is to just take the sheet, and you can shift the whole sheet up so that it's now from up here. Okay, so you've got the sheet of rubber starting there and going up from there. So then you won't be rubbing your finger against the pimples, and it'll all be good. So that's probably the best solution. But yeah, cutting the pimples, no good.
Okay, and so in that scenario, Alois, your finger would actually be directly on the wood.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So your finger, so there wouldn't be any rubber there at all, and your finger would be on the wooden part. Yep.
Great. All right.
So you'll see often pen holders will shift the rubber up their blade a little bit, so the rubber will actually start there and go from there up, so that they can just have their fingers on the wood there on both this side and that side. So yeah.
Indeed. All right. Hopefully that helps you out, Mark. Okay. Another question from Dave. And Dave says, attacking long and fast and very spinny serves on both the backhand and forehand, what is the best tactic?
Yeah. So, Dave, definitely if the serve's long, the best thing to think about is to make your attacking topspin on both sides. So give yourself a little bit of space. So if they're serving a lot of balls long to you, just take half a step back. But even if they serve one ball long to you, think that the first thing you're going to think about is making a backhand or forehand topspin attack. Now, one of the key things here is to make sure that you're set up well. If you're in a good, balanced, ready position before they serve, then it'll be a bit easier to make both the forehand and backhand. If you're turned like this and ready to play only with your forehand, or turned like this and ready to play only with your backhand, and the ball comes long on the other side, then it becomes difficult. So having a fairly square position to the table so that you can play equally forehand and backhand no matter where the ball goes long, and that setup is really important. And to take the initiative when they serve the ball long to you is really important as well.
Yeah, good advice. Now, if the serves are particularly spinny as they're coming towards you, is there anything different you need to do?
Yeah. So the shorter amount of time that the ball stays on your racket, the better, basically. So if you can keep the ball on your racket for a very short amount of time, then the spin that's on the ball doesn't have as much time to sink in and kick off. So if the ball's spinning and you brush it very fast and very fine, and your racket's only on the ball for a very short amount of time, that'll give you the best chance to negate the spin that's on the ball, put your own topspin on the ball, and get your shot a little bit more accurate. So short amount of time, good racket head speed, and really just brush the ball finely.
Excellent. All right, great tips. Hopefully that helps you out, Dave. Give that a try. Fast racket head speed against those spinny serves, and play aggressively. See, it takes a bit of practice to get that right, but see if you can get someone to serve you some long spinny serves just in a practice situation, so you can practice it over and over, and hopefully you can get the hang of it. Thanks for the question, Dave. All right, Alois, well, that wraps up a Monster Ask the Coach show. Lots of updates since we've missed a few days and exciting news with all the World Championships on. So Thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you check out the final, which is on the men's singles final, which is on very shortly. And thank you again, and thank you, Alois.
Thank you, Jeff. And yeah, get on to that men's singles final. It's going to be good. Can Feng Bo take the third big scalp of the Chinese team and secure the men's singles world championship, or will Ma Long succeed?
See you, everybody.